What's up, world? This is WeNeeda5th. This your man Mo. Got my man P in the building.
What up?
Got my man Hill in the building.
Yo, yo.
Fellas, it feels like it's been a eternity since the last time we met. A lot has happened. OKC Thunder won the NBA Finals. Kudos to them. SGA became Finals MVP. Unfortunately, we also saw in Game 7, Halliburton went down. Looks like he tore his Achilles. Unfortunate. I think we all saw it and knew what happened as soon as we saw it. And I think he knew what happened as soon as it happened. And I think as competitors, as fans, as lovers of the sport, I think we could all say that we have probably done the same thing if we were in his shoes, given the opportunity to win an NBA championship, something that, hey, you've worked for all your life, basically, for that young man, especially the path his career has taken where, hey, he was involved in basketball since middle school, and any basketball player dreams of being that Game 7 final shot, 3-2-1, we all had that dream. So my thoughts, first I want to ask you guys, what are your thoughts on, hey, OKC winning this championship? A lot of people, well, let's not say a lot, a few people put asterisks by this championship because of the number of injuries that occurred on both coasts. Put an asterisk for Halliburton getting to the finals because of the injuries suffered by the Bucks, by the Cleveland Cavs, and the Celtics. Excuse me. SGA, he benefited from Halliburton going down, and
I disagree with all of this. I think these are casuals talking because injuries happen
all the time.
It just happens. I think with time, no one's going to put an asterisk to it. It'll be removed because are you going to put an asterisk with the Lakers, the Showtime Lakers, when Isaiah Thomas got hurt? Or are you going to take away one of the Bad Boy championships when Magic Johnson got hurt? It happens. Yeah, so I think Oklahoma City Thunder had one of the probably top 10 seasons of all time, all around. 68 wins, winning the championship. And I think SGA also had one of the top 10 individual seasons of all time when you factor in he won the scoring title, which validated his regular season MVP. And then after that, he wins the finals MVP. I believe it was then Lou Alcindor, now Kareem Abdul-Jabbar did it once. Michael Jordan did it 4 times, and Shaq did it once. That's the list.
Yep.
Scoring title, regular season MVP, finals MVP. I think you'd be hard-pressed to give me 10 better regular seasons than SGA just had. So I take nothing away from him or the Oklahoma City Thunder. I think it was well-deserved.
And I think going in, I think people felt that this would be a great championship for the league, two small market teams. As you get further and further, you just started to see the legend of Halliburton with SGA, with all of a sudden OKC turning these elites, and Indiana were purists. So I think you had a lot of basketball purists, quote unquote, feel that Indiana's doing it the right way and they don't have as much talent flash. Everyone's talented at this level, just as some people are just more talented. So I was feeling that people were hoping for an Indiana championship so they can have something to prove to kids that you don't have to be the greatest and watch David slay Goliath and his whole manner. I thought OKC from start to finish, I didn't have a wonder when they would win the championship because I always felt that they would. What added to that myth that I'm thinking about was 3 threes from Halliburton right in the first quarter. So then you have that what if factor. So people are saying, if he didn't get hurt, Indiana's at least in this, or more than likely maybe pull this out. I think everybody had something come to the end. I think still OKC would have pulled it.
I think it would have been a closer game.
More than likely. No one knows it's Game 7.
Yeah.
But I've always felt that Oklahoma City was just poised to win the championship, but I get what people were feeling, but to me, I had okay.
I think it was a good win for basketball. They did it for the kids. You don't want the kids to think that mediocrity is good enough. You have to be the best.
A little rough, P, but yeah.
If Indiana won, kids will think, I don't have to be the best. I can just be mediocre and win.
And that's what you have.
You have to work hard to be the best. OKC was the best, so they won.
And this is totally out of left field, and we did discuss this before, and this came to mind. When they won the championship, and you're seeing them get the MVPs and stuff like that, did their celebration seem a little subdued? Like a little quieter than usual. It is like I'm used to you know what I mean? It felt like they
too much over. They're basketball players. They love the game. I don't think they get enough credit for the way they're as fundamentally skilled as Indiana.
They play the game the right way.
Yeah, right. Like the ball moves around. You just have an elite scorer.
Right.
And you have a dominant number 2 who's coming into his own.
No, but
their best players even kill.
Right.
Their coaches even kill. So I think they take a cue from,
Jalen is
the head of the Jalen. And frankly, they won 68 games. I thought they expected this. If Indiana won, they might have been rowdy.
And they said after the 68 games, we have not done anything yet. Right. Shea kept saying, we have not done anything. We have a goal to do.
This should be scary to the league, right? Because to your point, hey, you have the best record in the league. And you say, hey, this is not our end goal. This is not our mission accomplished. This is part of the mission, but it ain't the mission. Get to the playoffs and able to pull it through and get the championship, and you're still celebrating like, this is just win 79. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm a little reticent to say it because we said the same thing a year ago with Boston, right? Look, who's going to stop Boston?
Who's going to stop Denver?
Right, the year before, right? This is the 7th champion in 7 years. So so yes, on paper you would think OKC's like an unstoppable force, but this time last year I probably would have said the same thing for Boston.
So, speaking to that,
OKC.
You think they can run it back and win it?
I was scared to say they were going to win it this year because of Boston. Now that Boston's out the picture, I definitely think OKC should run it back. I mean, should repeat. I think they will break the trend of teams not repeating.
They retool like they always do. I mean, the scary years for OKC is when you have to pay all 3 of these guys, and then it's about filling out your team. And I don't think you can keep your Carusos and your Hardensteins and everything like that because they're going to go on it. Well, let me see. Chet maybe did at least one who will be in the $45 to $50 million range.
I think they're golden until they got to pay Chet. Like, right? Because you got SGA, you're going to pay J-Dub. Right. When you pay Chet now, it's like, okay, we're going to have to start dumping some salaries. That's when the hard decisions are going to be made.
Yeah, no, it's going to be rough.
That brings us to both of these teams, Indiana and OKC. Just talked about OKC. Y'all feel that, hey, they pretty much should stand pat and run it back. Don't feel that they need to make any moves, even in light of the moves that we've seen thus far in the offseason.
Right. Well, they got Sorber. Kid from Georgetown.
Which was, I think, was a really good move. Because to me, if you're going to say OKC has a weakness, to me, it's their it's interior.
Jalen Williams, he was playing center for a little bit, like
right,
6'5" dude. So it was like,
so
no. And the followers, you're saying Indiana. I want to say no, but you got an Eastern Conference Finals, then you got an NBA Finals. I don't know about. What.
I think Indiana and Boston, they're taking the year off.
Right, because he is out for the whole year, right?
Salary dump, take expiring contracts. That's it.
You resign Miles?
Do you resign Turner?
That's tough. It depends for what price.
He is nothing.
Because he is valuable, but I wouldn't want to overvalue him. I can't. He can be replaced.
4-1-40. 35 a year.
Relatively speaking, I probably would go with that. No, you got to think people are getting 50 and 60
absolutely,
now.
absolutely.
People are getting 50 and 60.
And he might fetch more than that on the open market.
And whether you like to admit it or not, he's a two-way player.
4-1-60?
That might be too rich for my blood.
So 35 is where you cut it off.
Yeah, because like I said, I could replace. Like I think he's a good player. I think it's more of he knows the system. He's been in the system his whole career. Just the locker room thing. So I would want to keep him. But yeah, don't.
But we're not going to mess with the aprons.
Yeah, don't outprice yourself, please.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Hey, guys, let us know what you guys think. Did you watch the NBA Finals? What do you think about OKC as Finals champion? Do you think they should hold the fort, stay pat with what they have, and or do they need to make some major moves? Does Indiana re-sign Miles Turner, or do they need to make a major move in the offseason and sign someone else or target someone else? Hit us up on social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel and you can hit that notification button so you know when the next YouTube video is coming out. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to the podcast. You can hit us up directly at WeNeeda5th@gmail.com.
Hit the like button. It costs you nothing.
NBA draft happened last week. Pretty much went chalk. What most players fell where we thought they were going to fall. We maybe had one or two surprises. Winners or losers?
Almost ace. I mean, just from a financial standpoint, he didn't want to go to Utah or Philly. I mean, it cost yourself like $30 million. I mean, it's just as simple economics. Like, it's generational wealth at $30 million. And you want to go somewhere lower as Washington or somewhere else, you're going to cost. That part didn't get me. Like, for two things. One, I made the league. I'm in the lottery. I don't care where I'm at that point in time. I'll play out 3 years. But, again, it's hard to stress that you're willing to forfeit $30 million to go to a place where you think you'll be better at. I mean, I want to say good for Ainge for saying, hey, we're going to draft him anyway, but I have no clue what Utah is doing themselves. Yeah. But the kid almost blew it for himself.
Do you think he kind of blew it for himself with the result being that, hey, he ended up in Utah, a place that's not clear, doesn't have a clear direction before he got there without him. You know what I mean? And I don't think they have a clear direction with him.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Give me 3 years, bro. He's $30-some million. Guaranteed.
Yeah.
Play it out.
It sounds like it's, although maybe not Utah, but the situation is what he wanted. Like, I don't think he wanted to go to Philadelphia where he would have to be a cog. He's going to get shots, I would think, in Utah.
His face was not happy.
Yeah, it's Utah.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I mean, you know, this is a little away from basketball, but a lot of like Microsoft, a lot of businesses are actually going to Utah for tax breaks and everything. So Utah is actually a booming market or whatever. But I don't think he's looking at it
from a social level. I think it's not as
right. So I mean, that's part of the NBA draft. You don't choose your team. You're not a free agent. So
you would have planes, and with $30 million, you can book a jet, like, and go to Vegas. It's not that far of a flight.
Oh, you can bring Vegas to you.
Right. Like, you can build a mansion, 15,000 square feet, where you can be in your Shangri-La. I just don't think his guidance, the people around him are telling him what he has right now. But back to your point, winners, definitely Dallas, definitely San Antonio. I'm selfish. I definitely, to me, the Lakers.
Who do they pick up? Or what move did you like from the Lakers? Let me ask you.
They're small / power forward from Arkansas. He was on Kentucky prior to. He's up. And he paid under Calipari.
Oh, okay.
Sorber, Georgetown with OKC. I thought Golden State. We talked about this off camera with Bria and then trading him. You didn't have too many. Which the Nets? What did they do?
Nothing. They got the kid out of BYU.
Yeah.
Igor Denham, I believe. At best, cool coach. I like Philly's move for what they had. I think the third pick was like a steep drop.
Edgecombe
From 1 and 2, but I think Edgecombe.
I
like Edgecombe, but no, but
yeah.
compared to Cooper and what you call Harper, it's to me it's a drop. But I do like him and my man from Auburn going Broom. So I thought Philly did pretty well. Yeah. I mean, you got a All-American player in the second round. That's a value pick.
Now let me ask you this: Dallas and San Antonio had the first 2 picks. Arguably, 2 of the more talented teams that we've seen at the top 2 in the order.
And I know people keep saying that San Antonio sucked last year.
Like but you had to figure, hey, Wemby was hurt from.
They were under 500 when he was. And I'm a Wemby guy, but I'm not going to be an apologist. They weren't a good team last year. So this idea that they have all this value, no, I think they have names, but
San Antonio,
it has not made any. They have not won it. Like they're a losing team, literally.
I don't know. Because for some odd reason people do give value to Stephon Castle. They do give value to Keldon. They do give value to.
And to be fair to them,
Vassell, Keldon Johnson,
even though
Spurs had them,
and to be fair to San Antonio, hey, even though they had to lose a record with him, hey, they were still in that playoff playing race with him when he was in the lineup and healthy, and hey, they totally got out of the race when he was down.
So when Wemby leaves and those players are left to man the ship be sinking. And that's what happened. I understand. I think those guys do have talent, but I'm looking at the result of that talent. It's bad.
Yeah, I can't explain that because they do have a.
Yeah, their names are great.
But and I guess part of the reason why I'm kind of like on the fence and I'm not making this comparison, but whatchamacallit, to me it'd be like, Golden State without Steph. You know what I mean? Like even when they were
bad team,
even when they were winning championships, I don't think they are Golden State if Steph's not playing. Like, and I think Wemby has the same effect with San Antonio. They don't have a shot without him in there. Everything is contingent upon him being healthy and him being dominant and whatnot.
There are a few. I think he is their franchise player. But there are a few players away from being a championship team per se. Like he hasn't evolved into. Again, we all say it. We love Wemby, but he hasn't evolved into that alpha talent to take a whole franchise on his back to get into the playoffs. Let alone, you know what I'm saying? Let alone championship squad. So he has some work to do, and hopefully year to year he gets he gets better. For me, I was stuck because I'm a big fears guy. I just didn't understand what the Pelicans were doing since you have DeJounte, or is it just he was the best player at the time? You take the best player and
I really didn't understand.
Unless you're trading DeJounte.
And that's not that he's a loser. I think this guy's actually to me the third best player in this draft is Derek Queen. And I think he was a loser because he went to the Pelicans.
but you got Queens, you got Queen and Fears.
Yeah. I just don't like that organization. I wanted Derek Queen to go to a better organization.
He was one spot away too, I think.
Yes,
they
would have took
I think he's going to be a good player, but he's going to have to do his 3 years and get up out of New Orleans.
Yeah, and what's going on with New Orleans?
I don't. I'm thinking till DeJounte is trade. I mean, because believe it, like DeJounte is so weird because he's appealing to franchises. Like he'll get out of there, and like he has worth.
But they drafted the kid from Duke, didn't they? New Orleans.
No, what you call him got him? Charlotte.
Yeah.
The center or the shooter?
No, the center.
Oh, no. Malawash went
Houston
to...
traded him to Phoenix, right?
Yes.
I think Houston drafted him and traded him to Phoenix.
Yeah, because Phoenix is doing some crazy stuff where they traded for him and then traded 2 other first-round picks for Mark Williams.
Yeah,
and
I'm the first one to say you need a stockpile because Joker and Wemby's outside, but you overdoing it. You overdoing it.
Is it keeping away from franchises? Is it like that? Like we're so lost at this point in time, we're just going to take assets.
Yeah,
so the Lakers can't get Mark Williams.
Maybe that's it.
I don't know. I just feel like it said Joker, Wemby, we're prepared. We're not good. But we have like 4 or 5 centers to throw at them. I don't know.
I mean, but if you're Booker, you're wasting the next what?
You're wasting draft picks that you could be traded.
You're wasting Booker's career.
What are you going to do? Like, I'm knocking on the door. Like, what are we doing here? Like what's going on?
If you're Booker, do you walk in the office and demand a trade?
I would probably demand input. I don't know about a trade.
I mean. What is his input going to do for him, P? Like, I'm sure that he had input with, do you think Kevin Durant is a good idea? You think
I don't know what he input, but I do know they did make it to the NBA Finals. Yeah. They did make it to the NBA Finals.
You need a point guard, and you have Kevin Durant as an asset. Why couldn't you get a tour? I mean, you had Trey, you had Jeff Fears, you had Dylan. Why not get a decent point guard you could change? And we can have Booker play as natural, too. These kids are good. And they'll be young and you're not paying that much. So now what? What's the next thing? Again, DeJounte and Booker? You need somebody. I don't like Booker at the point guard spot.
Yeah, Phoenix is a lost cause. I don't know the way to put it. They're not the Pelicans, but they're getting there. Where it's just like dysfunctional.
I think that's being nice. I got them at wizard level at this point.
Oh, Pelicans was the same thing to me. I don't see the difference.
And big losers here, right here at home. You're Knicks?
Yeah. At some point, you got to get a coach, right?
Coach? Thank you, Bridges. Like, you're better in your team. I don't know what you're going to strip it to make it to start over or to make it better.
Yeah, again, I think the Knicks are fine. I just think they need
Play
a coach.
Back?
I just think they overachieved last year. Like people acting like they were supposed to win the championship. No one had them in the conference finals last year.
Let me ask y'all about Dallas. Truthfully, adding Cooper Flagg with the team that they have. If everybody else, we know Kyrie's not going to be there till January. Let's say that. I think they say end of December, but let's say January. With what they have left on the table, adding Cooper, can they keep them in that playoff race?
Spence Dinwiddie's a good player. Like, definitely.
If they're healthy, I think it wouldn't shock me for them to be a playoff team.
If they're
healthy is a big if with that team. But Derek Lively coming back, Anthony Davis staying healthy.
Calfon.
Yeah.
Washington.
Yeah, they have a really good team. Like I dare say, depending on Cooper's development, a year from now, I think they might could be contenders.
Were you surprised that players like Caleb Love wasn't drafted?
Yeah, when y'all put that in the chat, I forgot he existed.
but for good reason though. You forgot he was in there, or it's like you forgot like it wasn't like
you guys are higher on him than I am. Like I think he was a decent college player. He didn't get drafted. Okay, I don't know what I was thinking.
I think 12 of the players in the first rounds I could say he's not definitively better than, and then the other 17 I'm saying I could see him slotting into the first round is where I felt like I thought Caleb was a first round draft pick last year. So I mean, I'm not crying for the fact that he's not. Like it's something, but I'm like, Caleb's better than these players in the first round. Personally, I was just
honestly, I think last year in college didn't do him any favors.
But he had a good NCAA run, though.
That was you thinking North Carolina.
I'm thinking Arizona. He played well.
I'm more surprised Mark Sears didn't get selected, to be honest, for Alabama.
Was he 5'1"?
Like 5'11". I think he's a similar height to the guy that what's the dude from Florida? Like I think he went in the first round. Obviously the guy from Florida had a better run, but I think I'm more surprised Sears didn't get picked. And the dude, what's his name? Love? Yeah.
Did what you gonna get picked up, or is that fake news? Hansel?
I don't know.
I think Hansel might have got picked.
I don't know.
Hey guys, hit us up on social media. Let us know if you watched the draft. Who are your winners? Who are your losers? Hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit that notification button so you know when the next video is coming out. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to the podcast. And you can hit us up directly at WeNeeda5th@gmail.com. Fellas, off-season moves. Got a whole bunch of off-season trades and stuff like that. Big move that started off, Kevin Durant moved to Houston.
The biggest.
Well, it depends if wherever Giannis goes.
He went to Houston. They only had to give up Dylan Brooks, Jalen Green, and a first-round pick and 4 second-round picks. Kyrie Irving signed the extension, 3 years, $119. LeBron James opted in to his contract.
What are you doing? Genie, my hands are clean.
Masai Ujiri.
Canned.
He was canned in Toronto. This was his final year of his contract.
We got to get to him.
He got a chip.
We got to get to that because there's coaches. Coaches win a championship get fired. So is it the same for GMs now? And plus, he had OG and Siakam, so it looks kind of crazy. He looks kind of crazy right now. You had OG and Siakam, and you got rid of him for what? Like
Lonzo Ball got traded to the Cavs from the Chicago Bulls, and Malik Beasley deal with Detroit was put on hold due to U.S. Attorney General saying that he's a person of interest in a federal investigation about betting on basketball with FanDuel, I believe.
So y'all don't think the Rockets are contenders?
I think the Rockets are contenders.
Were the Nets contenders when he was there? Yes, right?
Yes. When I say contender, I'm talking about championship. You think Houston could win the championship next year?
Were the Nets championship contenders? Yes, with them in there, right?
Yeah, I would think so. Kyrie, Harden, Durant.
Definitely moves the needle up. I'm going to go out on this and say, no, they won't be. They will not be.
I'm going to say, yes, they will be.
Van Fleet, championship experience. Kevin Durant, championship experience.
I like the coach.
What you call him? No championship experience for the coach, though, right?
Finals.
Yes.
What you call it with the Spurs, right? Because he's under Pop. He's under Pop.
Becky Hammons has an NBA experience.
Hey, listen, he was there, and I truly believe that. Hey, Joe Mazzulla benefit off of what he may put down. Honestly, because hey, we saw how well it went where he has to adjust on the fly.
Mazzulla has a chip. He doesn't.
Okay.
And now you got KD. You got So we'll see, but. Yeah. So when you say contenders, so if they make it to the semis, you're like, okay.
Really? Answer the question. Yes or no? They
I already picked OKC, so I mean,
can they contend? Can you?
I don't think they could beat OKC.
Okay.
I don't think they could beat OKC. Can they meet them in the Western Conference Finals? I guess. I think they could beat Denver in the 7-game
Sopranos
series.
for me. Social Club. He needs to go. I mean, you're talking about. Okay, so they're gonna make the Western Conference Finals. Is what you have, because that's what I would be a contender,
I think
right?
that's their ceiling. Yeah. To me, that's their ceiling.
Listen, you guys are better than me.
No, but then if Denver beats them, okay, like you know what I mean. But you have Kevin Durant. You have a team that was the number 2 seed.
When Denver beats them, I'm not even counting Denver, and I'm counting OKC. I'm not counting. Who else is in the West? Well, not too many.
Minnesota, Lakers.
So
Golden State.
Basically, they got better though, right? Because they lost.
Absolutely,
because they
moves
lost
the needle up.
They lost in the first round this year. We expect them to get out the first round next year, at least. Depends on the draw.
Be careful.
So then they get better then.
No, literally, he moves the meter wherever he goes because he is still top 5.
Except Phoenix.
Still top 5 player. When he was here, still top. KD's a top 5 player. There's no way to change.
I disagree.
No way to change.
Things done change.
You
think he's a top 5 player?
Yeah.
He's not better than Joker.
No.
He's not better than Giannis. He's not better than SGA.
Giannis, I'll hold that.
Wow.
Don't give me Giannis or Tatum. If that's the case.
Well, that's where we disagree. That's exactly where I was going with.
We're going Giannis and Tatum. Then the answer is no.
Because I think I'll take him over Tatum. Definitely.
And is he better than Luka?
Tatum won a championship.
Better than Luka?
KD better than Luka.
Luka did it by himself.
Right now,
to get to the finals.
I'll take Luka. I think KD's top 10. I think he's top 10. He's probably like between 7 and 10. Yeah, I think Luka, Tatum, Giannis, SGA, Joker are all ahead of him right now. Not career. I'm not talking about career. Like right now, he played a full season in Phoenix. We saw the results.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a top 5 player to me.
Got him in there.
Got him where?
Top 5.
I think I do too, yo.
But
easy money sniper, yo.
But saying that, by definition, where you have him would make sense to where I think he's gonna have Houston, because if he's top 5 talent, the needle should put that team damn near to the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah.
And if you have him top 10 where you have him at, then it should go to my argument where I say that they'll just be in the mix, and I think if they get a bad matchup, then they're out the league. But I feel that he's a top 5
and I want to say, like, I know how great KD is, obviously, whatever, but I just think
at the present time,
he was the best player on the team that was horrible. I don't think that's a top 5 player.
I think that's a top, a bottom 5 franchise.
Yeah, and I'm giving him the benefit because really anyone else I probably wouldn't even have him in my top 10. But I can't turn a blind eye. I know how great KD is.
And
so
to your point,
he'll be so. Keep that thought, Mo. To your point, so do we think that Houston will be a championship contender?
I think so.
They should be. Because I said the same. Like, I saw what happened in Phoenix. It's tough. I saw it. Him and Booker was trash.
And to that point, and Hill, I think you started speaking on it, but didn't get into it. When do we start bringing a narrative to these organizations? And these, you know what I mean? And hey, these consistently bad organizations that, hey, I have Hall of Famers, Hall of Fame talent, and do absolutely nothing with it, or set themselves up to fail like Phoenix did. Like, hey, that's an organizational failure over there. And it's like we put all that on the players, whether it be KD, Booker, Beal, whoever. We put it all on them, but we don't talk about the chefs that created this toxic meal that's making us all throw up at the table or go relieve ourselves on the porcelain throne. And it's like, hey, when do we start talking about the cooks that cooked this meal and put these ingredients together?
See, the thing of me with Finks, I didn't think the ingredients were that bad. It just didn't. You have Devin Booker and you brought in KD. Good move.
Okay, but my thing is, like, that's like the cook that says, "Hey, I'm baking the cake. I got the bread and I got the frosting. Oh, I'm going to add sea salt to it, and we're not going to address that cook saying, why'd you add the sea salt? Well, you know, like, hey, Bill was a step too far.
Yeah, I think most people do say that, though. No, like, I don't think people blame Booker and Kevin Durant. I think people blame Bradley Beal.
But
I understand they brought him in, but I think that goes towards the organization.
Yeah, but I think what KD is going to end up having is that they caught a super break in the salary cap with Golden State, and OKC was young. And those are the times when he had an abundance of riches. I mean, Brooklyn, but they didn't have too much time to, play together, so we'll never know. But those situations is when they excelled, when you didn't have to strip a team. You know what I mean? Like, and he seems to be that guy where he's an enhancer, more of a Giannis, or like even a Tatum taking a team by himself doing it. Man, it's not him. He's just like Weapon X. Like, you have Curry, you have Clay, and you're gonna look towards sweeping the entire finals with this guy. And when OKC had young Harden and young Westbrook, Ibaka, and they ran roughshod over the West, and they got to the finals. That might be who he is. You know what I mean? And I don't think you're going to have that anymore, because I think Phoenix is a championship team if you can keep Cam Johnson and Mikal Bridges. And you got rid of, I don't care, Aiden, whoever. If you keep those pieces, you're fine. You know, even with a CP3, Booker, Durant, Cam, Bridges, chip. But you stripping him every time he's going to go somewhere. I don't know how he's going to fit anywhere and have the success what we're looking for. That's why I don't think he'll ever be a contender unless he has that somewhat type of fit.
So you always need like a perfect lineup.
Yeah, he's such a takeaway for what he's worth to get. It's like, I want that Maserati, but I got to give you my firstborn child to get that Maserati. It doesn't seem like an equal.
And I guess that's part of the reason why I'm kind of high on Houston, is in the sense that they didn't have to give up the whole kitchen sink, you know what I mean, and the bath water, you know what I mean, and everything else. They gave up 2 players, you know what I mean. You might say, hey, without Dylan Brooks, maybe they lost a little bit of toughness for that squad, or veteran leadership. But hey, veteran leadership, hopefully that comes with KD coming into the locker room. As far as, hey, as much as Dylan Brooks brings to the locker room, you know,
he took a pay cut. He's not a free agent. He's at OKC. What's OKC asking Golden State for KD? Clay, Draymond, Livingston, and picks. Then what's Golden State? Is Steph and him enough with?
It's one of those things. I don't know.
Steph's great during this time, but
But to your point, like, hey, whatchamacallit, when he did go to Golden State, all they had to give up was Harrison Barnes.
That's what he's saying. Yeah. That if they had to give up Clay, Draymond, Livingston,
like every other team who had to get him.
Oh yeah.
Would they win? Would KD and Steph be enough without those guys? I don't know.
No.
I like to think so, but I don't know.
He had Harden and Kyrie. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like,
no, but they weren't. They just weren't. They just weren't healthy.
Right.
No, but I don't know. That's what I'm
Booker?
saying. I'm not even saying they would have win. I would like to think they would have win, but I don't know.
It's a crazy thought.
You know.
What
do we think about Masai Ujiri in Toronto?
Go ahead, Pete, because you was itching at that.
It was funny. I was thinking about it. I was just randomly thinking about it, but I didn't even put it in the chat or whatever. It didn't. That was before he got fired, and I was just like, wait a minute. he had OG, he had Siakam. I get the Kawhi thing. Kawhi wanted to go whatever. But you had, two really good players, and they've shown after they left they really are really good players that can help your team win. And he just never stocked the cupboard after he let those two go.
And I think that's where ownership not wanting to get into the tax apron and stuff like that, because I don't think they've ever entered the luxury tax outside of the time when they did have Kawhi and whatnot. Outside of that year or so, they've pretty much tried to stay under it. And I think that's why they lost some of those players.
I don't really keep track of all the financials and all of that, but between OG, Siakam, and Van Fleet, you could have kept somebody. Like, I just feel like you just jettisoned the entire championship team.
Yeah. I think they had off the championship cachet where they could say, we won a chip and we could just sweep this under the rug and probably just get these salaries out of here,
save some money.
But you can't, like you said, RJ Barrett and
right. And I understand that if he did a good job in rebuilding.
Right, that's the thing. What's the plan?
That's the whole thing. And since we're just going after people now, Danny Ainge. Okay, you traded Rudy Gobert, you traded Donovan Mitchell, which I thought was like dumb. Whatever. Okay, but it's been a shit show rebuilding. You know what I mean? So that's why I think it was dumb. Like, Cleveland, whatever you think of Cleveland, they're a contender. Minnesota is a contender. So you traded these two players that you had to contenders, and you're like a bottom feeder. You know what I mean? So I think, Danny Ainge, rent, don't buy.
So no tears for retirement, Jerry.
No, he seems like a really good dude.
Yeah.
I respect his testicular fortitude going forward for getting
one
Kawhi.
shot deal. Yeah,
and he won. You know what I mean? I don't necessarily think he should have got fired, but I understand.
And he did a lot of work with Dikembe Mutombo with NBA Africa as well.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, a lot of these guys are like Siakam, Malawash. This is a product of him. He had a hand in some of this. I'm not saying it's all him, but he had a hand in a lot of just that continent producing NBA players. He had a big hand in that. So, I would never really say anything like bad about him, but just we're talking about basketball, and I think he's had a rough run of rebuilding the Raptors after that championship run.
Malik Beasley, like we said earlier, U.S. Attorney General put out there that he's under investigation, betting, prop bets on the NBA. He had a 3-year deal on the table with Detroit. I think 3-year, $42 million. They were reporting, and that deal has been put on hold until this issue is resolved. Thoughts on this? Thoughts on players betting on the game they play?
Well, you're looking at, let's see, 14 million a year, right? So what is that, about $70,000 every 2 weeks? And you probably do a prop bet for $60,000 for a night. Yeah, I mean, depending on, I can see we can say it ain't worth it. Those numbers go up at $60,000 that one day to that $60,000 every 2 weeks. You're gonna be making more doing that prop bet and stuff. It's such a stupid move. It's such a stupid move. You can't do it. I never understood. I'm gonna do something. I'm in the NBA, guys. Just think about this, and follow me on this one. I am going to shoot more than 4 threes, regardless of anything. P. Is that $60,000 underneath my cupboard over there? That was your birthday present. I would feel better for you as your birthday present if you put it on me to do so. I do not have to link my own account. I have friends who can bet on me willfully through information that you don't have to do over a phone and just say, this is what I'm going to do, and which you can still get that feel. But we're stupid, so therefore we do this.
Yeah.
I mean, you randomly could just do that. There are ways to get around doing things. I'm not advocating for doing this, but using your own account on a prop bet in a sport you're in is just asinine.
P?
I pretty much said it all. Like, do you want $14 million guaranteed, or do you want to roll the dice for $14 million? He said, "I'll roll the dice. I'll roll the dice for $28 million." Maybe that's the way he's thinking.
Allegedly.
They're accusing him of this because they're not sure. Yeah. He's fried.
Vets don't know what they're doing.
He's fried.
Vets don't know what they're doing 95% of the time. Well, no, 5% of the time they don't know what they're doing. Well, so it's Malik Beasley too, I guess.
Hopefully he's not true. I think it is. Hopefully it's not. But we saw what happened to the Porter Jr.'s brother. So
yeah,
we know the consequences. So he should know. He should already have known the consequences.
On that front, Lonzo Ball traded to the Cleveland Cavs. Y'all like that move for them?
Yeah, I like him. Especially if you factor in Darius Garland's injury history since college. You're probably going to need a good backup point guard.
Wait. This is not Melo, right? This is Lonzo, to be fair, right? I just want to be clear. At this point in time, his dad doesn't have a foot or something, right? It's not even LeVar. You're telling me you're worried about Darius Garland's health? Lonzo Ball. God, I love you guys so much.
No, I think he's good. I think he's good assurance. I think he's a good assurance.
How many games?
Player.
I'm curious. How many games?
Lonzo?
This kid, how many games going to play this year?
45.
I'll say 50. I'll say 50.
That's a lot. So come on, y'all. Let's be serious now.
I mean, he played 32.
I mean, I must. You have to take a physical, so I'm assuming
he stole a Coro. He stole a Coro, and he had a terrible year. A terrible year last year when he disappeared.
Stuff, Lonzo. He
stole a Coro.
I don't think Okoro's good.
I don't think
Okoro's good at basketball.
Bad year last year.
It's that whole narrative. Just because you can't score doesn't mean you're good on defense.
Yes,
it's crazy to me. Like, he can't score. We know that. So he's good on. No, that doesn't mean he's good on defense just because he can't score. Maybe he's bad on both ends of the court.
You got to get rid of Chicago too. You have to blow up Chicago.
Yeah, that's just a horrible franchise. That's a bad franchise.
Yeah.
Before I wrap this up, whatchamacallit, what teams are out there that haven't made moves that you're like, hey, let's get a move on. Y'all need to make a move. What teams out there you think need to make moves that haven't made moves yet this offseason?
We're waiting on Milwaukee, right?
That's a whole nother topic.
I mean, is Milwaukee going to make a move?
Well, they got like 7 free agents. They're gonna have some.
Do they?
Yeah, they got a lot of free agents. I think Lopez is a free agent.
Go on.
Bobby's a free agent. What's your guy's name?
It gets worse after
Porter
that.
Jr. is a free agent. Yeah, that's the only ones we really care about.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I know that the whole talk is. I think they would be foolish to move Giannis. You have a top 3 player in the league. If you move him, that'll just be foolish. But we'll see.
I'm moving and shaking. I want to know 2 teams, and it all involved the one guy who switched from another team. I want to know what Dunleavy does with Golden State, what moves they're going to make to get better, because they're up in the air. They can make a splash if they get Giannis some way, somehow. And I don't understand why the draw is so big from the opposite of Golden State involving Jimmy Butler. For the draw is to Miami. Is it just the weather? Because a lot of people say they want to, even KD is like, I want to play in Miami.
Income tax, and I think the
weather?
the mystique of the Miami culture.
I think it's the location.
The weather, right?
I think it's
the
the location.
Pat Riley.
Same thing with LA. Like, of course the Lakers, rah, but it's LA. I think it's location. I really do. Like Pat Riley, a lot of these plays, like they know him as like a GM. Like they don't really. He's not.
Well, nobody's running to Orlando
because it's not Miami.
Yeah, no one's running.
It's Florida, but it's not Miami. That's almost like two different things. Like that's like
I want the
it's like LA and Sacramento almost. Like
I think they re-signed Mitchell.
Maybe
on Miami.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's what Miami does, right?
They don't really need to be in the league at this point. But just put Bam in Hero somewhere, and the rest of people.
Let's put Bam somewhere.
Any other teams?
The rest of the teams, who cares? Seriously, like Charlotte, I don't care. Washington, I don't care. Pelicans, I don't care. Utah, no one cares. Sacramento's getting to I don't care. Toronto, I don't care. Nets, I really could care less. I mean, a lot of teams we can get rid of. Chicago and get rid of them.
Indiana.
Be careful.
Oh, try to stay that through.
Just be careful.
I would be okay with them going.
Milwaukee.
Oh.
I think Orlando needs to make another move. They got Bane. I think they
picked up somebody else though.
Yeah, Bane actually got them off that list of people I didn't care about. That kind of put them on the other side. Yeah.
I think they need another piece. Whatchamacallit.
I think they could ride. You think they could?
They drafted somebody too.
Get out the first round this year with Boston and Indiana seemingly pretty much taking the year off.
That's what I would count on if I'm Orlando. Like
taking a step by fruition, just getting up there. But
I think in the East it's going to be a murderer's row with those young teams.
Detroit,
Orlando, and Detroit.
I just think them too.
I think New York stays consistent.
New York don't. It's New York time to get to the East.
New York or Cleveland. This season should start in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Right.
Like their season starts in the Eastern Conference Finals in my mind. Anything less than that is just everything must go. If they don't do it, everything must go if they don't make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. That goes for Cleveland and New York.
So, it'd be interesting. Would like to see what's going to happen with Sabonis in Sacramento. A lot of teams out there could use a serviceable stretch big.
Indiana, go figure.
Indiana, LA, Golden State, just to name a few.
Maybe Kuminga for Sabonis.
I would do it if I was Golden State.
You want more?
Of course you would do it if you were Golden State.
You want more?
If I'm Sacramento, yes.
Oh, so at Golden State you wanted
Kuminga,
more. I thought you wanted
That
maybe the twin. I thought you wanted Sabonis and what's my guy name? Twin brothers.
I would need Jimmy Butler or Steph actually for that trade to go down.
Kuminga and Jimmy Butler, have them. Yeah, there you go. They're yours. Yeah, they're yours.
Golden State. He's not that good.
Sabonis?
Neither is Kuminga.
Neither is Jimmy Butler.
She's actually much better than Kuminga.
Yikes.
Fellas, what's on the radar?
For me, it's going to be Summer League. We'll see Ace reports tomorrow. He's supposed to be there.
I think, isn't it? No, it's Vegas, right? But don't they have one?
Vegas next week. Yeah, Utah is this week. He has to report tomorrow.
Yeah.
So it's this week, and then the Vegas Summer League is the week after. We got to hit one of those.
Yeah, we got to get out to Vegas one of these years.
Tickets are nice too, man. Yes, I want to see these players. I'm thirsty.
P, what's on the radar?
MLB actually, baseball.
See my man Shohei starting to pitch again.
Shohei and Judge are, I think, tied for second homers.
I mean, Max Fried is filthy.
Max Freeze, Filthy.
Solo's getting a swing now.
Yeah. Raleigh in Seattle on the low, leading the majors in home runs.
I think my man Shohei hit you with a 100-mile-an-hour pitch during one of his outings. He that arm's looking stronger than it did when he was with the Angels. Because I don't recall honestly him getting close to 100 pitching with the Angels and whatnot.
Yeah, but that's on my radar. Just MLB in general.
So on my radar, Summer League, WNBA. A lot of parity in the WNBA. And Hill, I'm starting to get where you are with how you view the NBA and how the rule changes, especially how they monitor defense and what you can and cannot do, has allowed the NBA to give you a better brand of basketball. I think the WNBA needs to get to that point. I know, I've bragged about, the WNBA being the most physical brand of basketball out there, professional basketball. I think they've hit the breaking point. Because you have, to your point, a point that you made earlier in an earlier show, you have these young women who are very skilled, uber talented, but they're getting mauled. They're not getting the opportunity to showcase a lot of that. Especially I think of the post players, of the Asia Wilsons, of the Jonquel Jones, of the Stewies, what they have to go through to demonstrate their craft and their skill level. And I think the WNBA officiating has to get better. And it's time for the officiating to get better, especially when you think what's coming down the pike. The players are only getting better. You have Juju that's coming.
I'm about to say, get it right before she gets here.
Yeah, and that's my point. Yeah, that's my point.
Caitlin, y'all making this thing for Caitlin right now. Get it right for Caitlin and Juju that this league falls in line.
Yeah, and get it right for the players that's here. The Paige Beckers, the Caitlin Clarks,
Paige, of course,
the Angel Reeses, the Aaliyah Bostons of the world. Hey, definitely. I think the WNBA just needs to give that to their players. That's me getting off the soapbox right there. Hey, hit us up, social media. Let us know what you guys think. Hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit that notification button so you know when the next video is coming out. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to your podcast. And you can hit us up directly at WeNeeda5th @gmail.com. To all our fifths out there, be safe. Peace.